Hello, DragonCon. Thank you for watching DragonCon Goes Virtual in 2020. I'm Renee Cooper, the Director of Animation Track, and I'm super excited to introduce this panel, which is Voice Actors for Beginners. So I'm going to let our panelists introduce themselves. Please tell us your name and briefly describe your skills, kicking it off with Shanice.
Hi everybody, my name is Shanice Turner. My skills in voice acting includes like cartoon, animation, commercials. I like to do make my voice a little smaller, making it a little bit deeper. So anything like that, anything that can be animated and really, really go all out for the character.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Hi, my name is Ninti Chance. I am a software engineer by day and a voice actor / aerial enthusiast by night. I love everything cartoon, and I really love using the medium of voice acting to tell a story.
What's up, everybody? My name is Samuel Meza. I am born and raised here in LA, and I am one of the many voice actors you'll find out here in LA. I've been signed with the voiceover industry agency for about 5 years now, and I've done projects ranging from anime, YouTube, and some on Amazon Prime. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So I want to just go ahead and start this off by saying, what does voice acting mean to you? Why do you do it? What is something that makes it your passion? And then we can go around, starting with Shanice again.
Mm-hmm. So voice acting means to me, it's a real creative expression. It's a safety, it's healing, and I'm not sure about everybody else, but for me, acting is like such a healing, such a spiritual experience that when I'm able to not only act, but when I'm able to do voiceovers, I'm able to encompass the character and become it and really feel that person inside of me, all their traumas, all of their life experiences, all their happiness and all their joy. Voice acting is such an important part of my life that I wouldn't be here without it.
What do you mean by that? Because I'd love to hear a little bit more of that story.
I would be lost. I was voted most shyest in high school. I grew up in Waukegan, Illinois, metro, outside of Chicago, the metro Chicago area. I was voted most shyest, but I knew how to act. I just wasn't really good at overcoming my shyness at the time. And I allowed my shyness to be such a barrier and a burden for me that acting, it was like a switch. When I was able to act or do voiceovers and get behind a microphone or get on stage, it gave me a path, it gave me a purpose.
Awesome.
That's brilliant. For me, voice acting means using the dimensions of your voice to give life to a character and tell a story. Similarly to Shanice, I really love to voice act. I think it's very fun. It's captivating for me to be able to become another character or use my voice in ways that people wouldn't expect to hear from me. When I showed my reel to one of my really good friends at work, he was like, wait a second, is this you? And I'm like, you would have never known it was me. As opposed to like stage and film, you see the person, you're like, that's you, Ninti. So I just love the idea that I'm a completely different human being in that moment when I am voice acting.
Mm-hmm. I know for myself, I definitely think it's acting. You know, just your stage is a little different, you know, whether it's in front of the camera, on the camera, or like when I do stand-up, it's just another form of acting. And I think the greatest thing I love about voiceover, it's that, you know, you're able, just like the girl said, to bring a character to life. You know, when you're able to see a sketch or a character description, you got to get really creative and think, you know, what could I do? What voices would they sound? How high, how low? How can I bring this character to life to get everybody just to fall in love with this animation? So that's the real fun of it, just acting and just being creative and not being afraid just to be funny in the booth.
Awesome. And speaking of booths, like, you know, a lot of the first steps of people knowing they want to get into voice acting is thinking, well, I don't have the money, the equipment, or any of those things. So what do you recommend in terms of physical equipment, but also personal healthy like exercises and choices that you can make to be a better voice actor or just to get into voice acting?
Mm-hmm.
Can I dive in first?
Yeah.
So if you really have a very low budget and you're trying to make it as a voice actor in commercial or narration or film, or animation. One of my friends legitimately just uses his phone and he goes in the closet and like goes under the covers. And that's like the lowest budget that you could possibly think of. But if you have a higher budget, I would start with a mic and an interface. Those are like literally the building blocks of being able to voice act. So I literally have my stuff right here. So I just have like a Rode microphone. And I have this Avid interface. And then some other things like a filter, a reflection filter, or headphones so you can hear yourself better.
Cool. Anyone else wanna? Yeah, I was like, brag on your setup.
Yeah, I mean, I'll jump in because I mean, when I started off, like I literally had no money or how to be a voice actor. But you know, just like what Ninti said, is if this is something you really want to do, you'll find a way to make it happen. I mean, my first voiceover booth was just like a broken drawer, a broken piece of wood that I found, and then I bought a blue snowball microphone, and then a sound condenser I made out of cardboard and styrofoam. You know, and so that allowed me to get work for like 2 years. And so I would always encourage people that, you know, you don't really have to have thousands of dollars to throw into it. If you're really creative, you'll find a way to make it happen. You know, so just having that little setup for 2 years, again, allowed me just to, you know, get all this work. And then, you know, from the jobs I was able to get, I was able to save up and, you know, upgrade everything. So just never let how much you do or don't have stop you. Just keep on chasing your dream.
For me, I would say budget. Know your budget, because voice acting is great, but your bills is going to power your home and feed you and clothe you is going to be really important. So budget, I recommend either going for, depending on how far you want to go into it. If you know this is something that's been in your heart for all of your life and you just want to get out there, I recommend getting an XLR microphone. But if you're just a bit hesitant, you need a little bit more assurance, I recommend getting like a USB. This is a Shure microphone. It's one of my traveling microphones when I'm traveling the globe that I use so that I'm still giving the best quality I can give while still being mobile.
Awesome.
And then to speak to your second, like what sort of exercises do we do? Breathing or what have you. I love to do this thing called the announcer's test. So I will essentially figure out what my character voice is. So say I'm doing a baby. I'll try to figure out exactly where the voice is, and then I would do the announcer's test with that voice. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises, 6 pair of Don Uvelzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt, 9 apathetic, sympathetic, diabetic old men on roller skates with a marked propensity towards procrastination and sloth, 10 lyrical, spherical, diabolical denizens of the deep who hold still around the corner of the quill of the quay of the quivery all at the same time.
Where do you, is that something that's listed somewhere? Is that the announcer's test?
Yeah, the announcer's test is actually like an old radio test for radio voices. So you would learn that like very quickly, and then you would come in and you would just do the announcer's test. I learned that in one of my acting classes at the company acting studio out here in Atlanta. And they just taught us it. So every single time I have a different voice, I will figure out how does that character do the announcer's tests to warm up.
That's really cool. I love how you said porpoises. That was adorable. That's really cool. So any other kind of techniques that you guys use, Shanice or Samuel?
I know for me, I actually learned a little technique from voice actors. Her name is Lori Allen. She's been on SpongeBob and a few Disney films. She just said either like to loosen up, do like a few push-ups, or just squish your face. Just squish your face and just start talking like how the character is, you know? Like, for example, like I had one web series. I didn't really know what to do. They just said, he's a really big buff guy, 2 heads, just all menacing, and just do whatever comes to mind. I was like, Okay, okay, guys. I'm coming. I'm gonna smash, and I'm gonna win. Yeah. So just stuff like that, and just it helps you like really just get out of your comfort zone and just create something new. So I thank Lori Allen for that.
Great.
So for me, you always want to focus on your breath and your diaphragm. So before I do anything or even speak, I make sure I take a good breath and I make sure I stretch and I let it out as well. From Ginger Works Kathleen, she'll do crazy face, crazy body. And this is my regular face. So I'll do my face in like a crazy way, do my voice in Lido. This is a great way to loosen up the body and loosen up your vocal cords. And just making sure you loosen up your body because you're supposed to have fun. Even though you're taking this seriously, have fun with it.
I already know this is going to be the best panel and the most animated panel. I'm so excited. You guys are so adorable, but also like so amazing. These are really great like recommendations and very helpful for people to know that it's not just your voice. It is a whole body experience. I always have this question because while I don't voice act, I sang for very many years of my life. And there's always a time when you have a very important gig and you're about to lose your voice. What do you do if that ever happens? How do you make sure that you're either protecting your voice so that happens less often? Or do you have any tricks that, like one I heard, like the greasy potato chips, where you just, if you got to do it, you got to do it?
Jump in real quick.
Yeah.
I definitely first recommend, if you're recording from home, save all the screaming and all the loud stuff for last. Get like the, regular lines in first. And to conserve your voice, I think one of the two common things everyone out here in LA does is they drink tea or honey water for whatever reason, honey water or lemon water. I always just stick with tea. That always loosens up my vocal cords and allows me not to strain my voice. So just, save all the screaming toward the end and tea or lemon juice.
So I can't go as far as like steroids, but when I was doing pageants and I had to sing, I basically would drink this tea called throat coat. Another thing is, this is from like real life experience. I would stay up like all night on the phone. And because of that, the week of my performance for Hairspray, I lost my voice because I didn't sleep. So it's necessary to get good sleep. Like basically anything that you would do for your healthy body would be healthy for your voice. And so that's how you keep your vocal health really like on point, is ensuring that you are exercising, sleeping, eating well, and drinking throat coat tea.
So I recommend water. I have water with me everywhere I go. This is one of my travel bottles because
it's very cute.
It's easier to link it to my backpack. I will also say make sure that you eat well too. Eat water-based foods like cabbage and watermelon and lemons and limes, just so that you are getting that, along with the rest that Ninti said. Make sure that you're getting your walks and you're getting your exercising, making sure you save like your body and your voice. But also, if you have to do grunts and screams, limit it to 30 minutes. And if you can help it, try not to be stressed. When your body's tense, you feel it all over in your body. And if your body feels it, your vocal cords feels it as well.
This is a lot of great advice. Thank you. I wish I had known you guys way back in the day when I was singing more often. This would have helped. So now we're going to do a couple of fun questions. So if there is because we have some time, we're good on time. So name a character that you would love to voice, somebody that is already in existence. We'll do one like a project later, but for now, like, is there a character that exists that you're just like, I can do this and I would love to be the voice behind it, or I just like it as a challenge?
Oh my God. I would love to do Clementine. I love Clementine, and even Laura Croft as well. I try to do my best British accent because I love her, and she's like, what does she say? A famous explorer once said. And that's where I'm going to stop.
Laura Croft. Okay.
For me, I freaking love Steven Universe, and my favorite character is Peridot because she's tiny and she's got a lot of power like me. So like when I saw her and she was like, you know, very, I guess she didn't understand friendship, and she didn't understand that people would like you regardless of your flaws. And so seeing her character be able to grow so strongly into a friendship with Steven and Lapis, like just that story really resonated with me. And she's tiny, and my birthday is in August, and so she's picked out, that's like my birthstone. And then she has this like little raspy voice, and I don't know if I could do her voice, but she's always like let's see, Claude, you stupid Claudes. I don't know. I don't know if I can do the voice, but I would love to do Peridot. Like she's a firecracker.
She is adorable.
And I think for myself, like I would love, it's a weird selection, but from SpongeBob, I would love to do the voice of Plankton. I don't know, just something funny about having like that little guy with such a deep voice. I mean, I would love to take over if the guy ever retires, just to walk in and just do something like, ah, yes, the Krabby Patty secret formula. My wife Karen, I love her. One day.
That's amazing. I know. Keep those hopes alive. I mean, those voices that you guys did are really great. And I've always heard that, you know, if you have that signature voice, sometimes people are looking for that. So you don't always have to be another voice, but your actual voice, that go-to that you have, can be helpful when others are choosing, you know, voice acting and getting gigs, things like that. So I actually want to pivot a little bit and ask, how do you get gigs? What is your audition process like? Or, you know, do you have an agent, or do you kind of do more outreach and networking to do it? So what is your process like?
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have an agency, but apart from them, I also just continue to network on my own. So especially my advice for people starting out, if you don't have an agency, just Instagram. Use Instagram, Twitter, and just reach out, because there's casting directors, there's voiceover agents, and they'll respond. You know, a lot of the times when I first started out, I never thought the people from Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon would ever respond to me with all my questions, but they did. You know, and a lot of the times they'll refer you to what mics you can buy, or voiceover classes is something really important. Find out, you know, Google, look on the internet and ask them, you know, where are the local voiceover classes at? Where are the acting classes at? And yeah, so social media, use it to network. And if you're just starting out, use YouTube. That's exactly how I just started out. I just started doing fan dubs and voice impressions, and it just grew from there.
Definitely agree. Oh, do you want to go, Minty?
Sure. For me, I don't have an agent yet. Definitely getting together. I know that there's some steps that you need to take, like getting together your demo reel for projects that you've already been on. But the way that I was able to start voice acting was going on this website called Newgrounds, and they have like a bunch of independent projects that people are working on. So I've voice acted for a few people just based off of Newgrounds alone, and that's how I was able to meet the creator of Antunes on YouTube, and hopefully really like kickstart my career based off of the projects that I was able to get on there. And that's pretty much how I ended up meeting Samuel, is by being on Newgrounds. And so if you want to do animation, if you want to do that sort of like independent and kind of like personal creative work, I'd recommend that one.
Yes, I definitely recommend YouTube. If you go like to search and do voice acting auditions 2020, a lot of things will come up. Like that's how I met, like if any of those that you know, like Bunny Boma and Joey Cat, we've been in so many voice acting projects along with Chastity and Skinny Mini. And I also recommend Casting Call Club and the Voice Acting Club. There are many. If you go on Facebook and look up voice acting clubs, there are a lot of groups that have accessible for anyone to audition. If you have any questions, you can ask them there. People are ready and able to help you. And with me, I have an agent. I am with Holton Talent, and I also do my own hustle and do what I can to find auditions. Make sure you are professional, you're timely, and that your email has your greetings, your body, like the subject, like, hi, I'm auditioning for set and set. Here's my audition attachment, and thank them. just being yourself and being grateful or just thankful, it really does catch the eye because your personality and your character is going to stand out along with your voice.
Yeah, I love that. I love all of that, specifically the part about professionalism, because a lot of people who, specifically in things that don't sound like, oh, sorry, Samuel, were you going to say something on that?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay. Specifically in, when people think about cartoons and voice acting, like while it is a very huge, we know it's a big industry right now, specifically in, with anime going into English dubs, but even just the animation world booming right now, and those places like Newgrounds and indie video games or YouTube that are needing more people to voice these different creations. There's still a huge portion of people who think it's just like for fun or not professional. So that level of professionalism is very important in anything you do, even if it's conventions or voice acting, anything like that. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that as having canned responses and your resume and even like a website and things that are put together. So when people look at for you, they hear you and then like, oh, and this person has their stuff together. Really good advice. So speaking on that, are there any current projects that each of you is working on that you're really excited to announce, that you can announce? Because I know sometimes things are on the DL until they're out. But anything that you've recently finished that you want to talk about, or something that is kind of in the works that you're excited to see the finished product? We'll start with Shanice. Sorry, go ahead.
I have a few projects. Can't announce them yet because of NDA, non-disclosure agreements, but I did finish an audiobook, and I spoke like this. My name is Titi Barton. Your soul is mine.
That's awesome. And kind of creepy. But kind of Eartha Kitty.
Creepy.
I like it.
It is. It's so opposite of me. So doing this character, it's like you have to go to I don't have to go to a dark place, but I have fun with it. Yeah, it's interesting.
I'm currently just finished recording a project that Sam is managing, so I'm sure he can tell you a bit more about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We dubbed the McDonald's commercial.
What?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And Ninti plays a big part in that, and I'm working with 2 other talented women, and it's going to be really good. And I know for myself, I just finished recording episode 3 of a web series called God School. Several people who work in the anime business are blending the voices as well. Episode 3 comes out, I think, this year. And I was just notified that I'm going to be in an Amazon Prime series called Last Semester in Secondary School. I don't know who I'm playing yet, but I was told I got the part for one of the 3 characters I auditioned for. So yeah, look out for that, and recording 2 other projects on the side right now. But yeah, staying busy.
Wow, that is great.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I completely forgot. When you say projects, you don't just mean animation.
Yeah, sure.
I also was the lead character in the Morning After film. It kind of the production or the post-production has been halted since COVID, but when they pick that back up, I believe it should be dropping sometime in fall or spring of next year. But it's just a film about mourning and the person that you become in that space. And so it was a really nice experience being able to be a character, like Shanice said, completely different from me. She's very stoic, very distant, very and I'm fierce, but she's fierce in a different way, in a very distant, apathetic way. And so, yeah.
Yeah,
that's really great.
I forgot. I have 2 projects. So I did a film, Michael G for Arizona State University. So we're talking to the kids about viruses and how do you fight them, and come on, Killer T, we gotta kill these cells. And I'm Micro G, so I am a cell that tags teams with the cells in our body known as Killer T or Killer T cells. And I am in The Walking Dead. I am an Oceanair, so I am with Michonne, and you'll see me featured. I am playing with trying to think Rick's daughter. I know her name because I know her real name, and that's what I was addressing her as. And it's exciting. I
Wow.
will say be careful when it comes to uh, auditioning for acting because with COVID going on and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, good advice. That's really exciting what you just said, Shanice, for two reasons. One, because I actually went to Arizona State University, even though now I live in Atlanta. I know Sun Devils, I don't remember the thing that they did, but anyways, so I think that's really cool that you're working on a project with them. And when you mentioned the killer T cells, I've been watching Cells at Work. And I think that's a really cool thing people should watch. And I was thinking about how having something like that for COVID-19 would be really helpful. I've learned a lot about the insides of my own body cells based off of that. So I think animation has a way of really helping to educate at all ages, not just children in college or younger children, but adults, because sometimes we just forget about these things, and putting it in a place where I watch cartoons a lot. I love cartoons. I feel like it helps to resonate. So not just being entertainment, but educational as well. And I do think it's really amazing that all of you guys are keeping busy during this time, because it's just hard out here, and COVID-19 is no joke. And while we don't have to go into that, it's very great to see that the animation aspect is growing right now, but also that acting and different things are getting back into play. But I do appreciate that call out of just be careful if you are doing things in person. See, we're all digital right now because we got to be, but you all have great mics, so we know that the animation recording and business can keep going.
Can I interject on the educational opportunities in animation? I love how the animation platform has been doing a lot to teach people social justice lessons, and then also lessons of friendship. Like, I learned so much from My Little Pony and Steven Universe about healthy relationships, healthy friendships, and being yourself and having people still love you to be when you are yourself. And then like Shira and its anti-colonial, anti-imperialist storyline is so brilliant. So I just love how this generation of kids are growing up with cartoons that are instilling some really serious values in them, and also teaching me about things that I didn't learn as a kid. I didn't learn that friendship was magic, and I wish I knew, but I'm glad that I was able to learn that in my early 20s. So
yeah. My Little Pony was a different thing when I was growing up, and while it was still very adorable, the same with She-Ra and other cartoons that are similar, it's the storytelling has also evolved, and I feel that it's very nice to hear voices that, while they are still very animated, are very realistic when they are being portrayed. Because even if you have a pony with a high voice and think what they're saying is important, and it's interesting to hear a voice like Shanice's animated voices, but what they're saying is helpful, and it's healthy, like you said, and it's teaching a whole new generation that it's not about a start and end and everybody is happy in the end with no problems. You are going through that and learning a lot more about yourself and helping other people learn more in the process. So I think that's really cool that you are voicing, it's very obvious that all of you are voicing characters and acting as characters that are portraying that. And I think it's very important, in case nobody else has noticed yet, that you are all people of color. And this next generation is not ignoring that. They're seeing it and it's not being ignored, even though the characters you play may be purple and green, or strange colors, or even a fantasy look or feel. That's kind of getting blurred because we all now understand that we exist and we have voices too, even if it's the voices we're playing. So that's awesome. That was not a question. I apologize. That was just a long.
That's fine. No, it's good. I like that.
that's good.
So let's see. We talked about the amazing project you're working on. Is there we talked about a character, but is there a dream project that you either have seen kind of in the works, or you would love to be a part of, or something that you haven't seen yet that you're like, I really want to be the voice behind a character that is like bleh. And we'll go backwards. We'll start with Samuel this time.
Oh man, that is such a long list. I mean, I would have to say my top two. It's a tie. I would love to be in any anime, because I've had the opportunity to audition for them, but I've just haven't been so fortunate to actually get cast in it. So hopefully one day with that. And I would love to be a voice in that Nickelodeon show called Casa Grandes. It's like all Mexican cast, all voiced by Hispanic people. So I would love to be cast in something like that. I think because just like what you were saying before about, representation, that growing up, there were never really any shows with people that look like me, and so just to finally see, more diversity showing up in movies, TV, and video games, it's really, it's emotional sometimes, I'll be honest, because I always wanted to watch TV or play a video game and see a superhero, see someone who looks like me, but I never did. So it's cool to see this generation being able to experience that from people like Miles Morales or the Casa Grandes or all stuff like that. I love it.
I agree. I absolutely love Miles Morales. I love that he's Afro Latinx, and so he merges two underrepresented communities and represents us, and I love that. For me, a dream role would be to be on a show with like captivating character who I can really connect with and grow with. I want to tell a story that's deep, like Kipo or Shira. And then also, like Samuel was saying, the thing that I loved about Kipo was just instantly how Black it was. And so to be able to be on a show like Craig of the Creek, which is like an all Black family, it would be amazing to just tell a consistent story with my voice.
With me, I'm going to go into the gaming. I want to bring more diversity to games like Resident Evil and even the Ubisoft team. They have a disclosure where it says that, we're a diverse team, but if you look at their team and not the voice actors, it's not really diverse. And diversity is more than just creed, color, and ethnicities. It's different people and skin tones and backgrounds as well. And I really, really am a community activist and a leader and a civil rights justice person. I really want to bring more consistent faces to video games, and to companies like Capcom and Ubisoft. We haven't seen a character in the Resident Evil game that was African American outside of Marvin was Sheva Alamar. And her character, they didn't even give her a backstory, by the way.
Right.
And they didn't really give her a backstory. And even with Ubisoft, the last game that they had primarily African American or Black cast was Origins. They do have a few African American voice actors that they do bring back, which is golden. But we can always do more and always push that envelope for diversity and really make that statement be a statement.
Very
Right.
true.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah. Diversity is, like you said, people think it's a one layer thing. It's like, oh, well, if we have a person of color on our team somewhere, we're diverse because it's different. But when it comes to decision making, when it comes to consistency, and then not everybody who has a brown skin or light brown skin does come from the same background and have the same information or the same story to tell. So it's opening it up to be more, more than just that one layer of diversity or inclusion. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys all, giving your feedback on that. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do kind of like one or two more really fun questions at the end. Do you have a favorite voice actor that you kind of, who inspires you, or that you look up to, or that you've met and we're just like, this person just has great information and I'm so glad that we made this connection?
Mm-hmm.
I can get started. I think Shanice and I have the same favorite because we had like a long conversation last weekend. I was really excited to meet Shanice. We both love Cree Summer. She has a wide and expansive career and her voice is so unique. I love hearing her sing on her Instagram. I follow. Her children are adorable and so freaking powerful, But specifically, my favorite right currently is this guy named Echo Mitchell. There's this show on Netflix called Hilda, and he plays the Woodman. And the Woodman is this like hilariously like, I don't know, he's just disrespectful. He just be walking in people's houses saying, "Oh, you don't have any more tea." It's like, well, are you paying bills? Well, I love that character. And then I love his voice. He's like a American British African American British actor, and so I just like hearing what he brings to that very disrespectful character.
I haven't seen Hilda yet, but now I'm gonna have to push it up on my list. I'm like gonna be in probably for a while, but just finished a whole bunch of Netflix stuff. But Hilda, I keep seeing pop up, and now I'm gonna add to the list. It looks very like what was the Over the Garden Wall? Like it's very similar.
Yes, it's very mystical, but it's not as scary and dark as Over the Garden Wall. It's very fantastical, so I love it.
All right, I can do both, but yeah, Over the Garden Wall was pretty. It got pretty dark.
Yeah.
And also, I do love Cree Summer. So if she comes up again, then I'll express my love too.
I love her.
Yes.
I can answer the question. It's so hard, man, because out here in LA, you can run into a voice actor going to Starbucks. So I've been fortunate enough to meet like a lot of the people I grew up listening to. But man, it is so hard to pick one. But I think personally, I'd have to go with the voice actor. His name is Sean Chiplock. He's very big in anime. He was in Legend of Zelda and a bunch of other cartoons. But for me, he's my personal favorite because he was, I think, one of the first voice actors I ran into when I started, attending workshops when I didn't even know about voiceover or if I wanted to do this or not. And he was nice enough to answer all my questions, and refer me to all of the websites you guys recommended earlier. And he gave me his business card and he said, if you have any other questions, feel free to contact me. And if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be here right now. So he's definitely my favorite.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful. For me, it is Cree Summers too. She's a Cancer. I'm a Cancer. Like, right? Like doing the pictures, like people said I was like a little bit older and I did some things. I will be just like Cree Summers. I'm pretending this is my shades because she wears shades a lot. They're like, that is you. I met her at MomoCon and my friend was like hitting me like, that's you. That's you. Like so like enthusiastic. And it was just so funny. So God bless the freaks. I also like Stephanie Sheh. She does Sailor Moon, another Cancer. And she's also did Hinata. And I had a chance to meet her at Atlanta Anime Weekend, and she's so sweet. And just having that representation of petite, small woman, I'm about 4'11" on a good day, 4'10", and I shrink sometimes, depending on the height of the doctor. But it's just to see someone who's like tiny, it really it gives me hope. Like people don't see us.
They literally don't see us. They pin their elbows on our heads like we're
Oh, no.
I'm 4'11". Also, I just love that cute Sailor Moon thing you just did with the wink and everything. Oh my gosh, that was perfect.
I love it. Currently rewatching on Hulu right now because of the English voices, and I think they're doing a great job. So I'm super excited about that, and because I forgot everything that I learned or that I watched when I was in high school. But yeah, I'm just gonna also gush on Cree Summers because she did come to MomoCon. I'm sure she's been to DragonCon at least once in the years that she's been, the many years that she's been a voice actress since like her childhood. And I just want to say, this is going to sound weird to anybody who has never been in a room with her, but she smells amazing. So if you ever get a chance to be in the same room with her, it's going to be a great experience. But yeah, she's just fantastic. Her discography is so long and amazing. And so it's great that she's inspired so many people. And Samuel, kind of on your point, like that's why I mentioned like people that you've networked with. Sometimes it's not about their voice. It's about what they like, how helpful they are and how willing they are to help people get into the industry. Ben Diskin, who does a lot of voices for English dubs. He's a lot of stuff, but I know he was in like Agretzko. He says he made a website specifically called like I want to be a voice actor.com or how do I get into voiceacting.com, something like that.
Mhm.
And I think that that's really amazing that people will give their talents and their time to create resources like that, because it's not, you know, we're all trying to just get by, but there's got to be more new great talent that's coming up. And I appreciate when people, especially like you, who give your time to do panels like this and to give out information to help the next person to learn where their next passion could be and how to achieve that passion. So you guys are my favorites today. So I think that's awesome. So kind of on that note, we probably have about 10 minutes left, 5 to 10 minutes left. So I want everyone to go through and kind of list out maybe like your top resource, like the one resource that you would recommend if somebody was like, I only got enough battery to put one more thing in my phone today, but I know you have the information for me. What is the one resource that you would say to go to today for someone getting into voice acting? And we'll start with Shanice.
I can start. Classes. I have done 30 classes before COVID started. I'm about 35 now. I've been taking classes every week. I just did an acting class today, and we did the woo. I can't do it. So forgive me if I just embarrass myself. But classes, that is where you're going to find your mentors. That is where you're going to find like-minded people like yourself. And that is where you're going to get outside your comfort zone. Before you can get in a booth and be alone and be yay, learn how to explore like outside of the booth too, because who you are outside the booth is who you bring yourself inside that booth. So classes, and they're doing them virtually.
That's always good right now.
Acting or voiceovers.
Yes.
Either or.
Shanice is so right about classes. That's where you really gain a lot of confidence. You learn how to use your voice helpfully, like taking vocal lessons with a vocal coach. They'll teach you how to do some like diaphragm breathing and relaxing your body so that you're not doing anything unhealthy. But for me, I really feel like friendship is absolutely necessary.
It's magic.
It's magic. Having a good support system is amazing for you. If you meet people who are already audio engineers or have already done some work with recording, honestly, my friend gave me his old equipment, and just having him as a friend allowed me to break into what I needed. So ensuring that you really like keep contact with supportive people, I think is a really great thing to keep up with always. As she said, friendship is magic.
Yes. And just like what the girl said, you know, at the end of the day, the biggest thing is that voiceover, it's acting. You know, it's more than just doing a funny voice. And, you know, just acting classes. I did stand-up, you know, to work on my timing and my delivery. So whatever helps you improve your line delivery and just all around, you know, acting experience, just do whatever class it is. Talk to voiceover people on Instagram, just stuff like that. Or books, like the one book I can recommend at the top of my head was How to Be a Voiceover 101. It was written by Debbie Derryberry. She's the voice of Jimmy Neutron. So I recommend that. That's a very good read for all those who have no idea how to get started. Yeah, just start from there, read a book, and keep asking questions.
Awesome. This has truly been an amazing resource panel. I'm super excited that you guys were all able to take the time out to help with this and to make not only to help with a resource for up and coming people who are going to be getting into voice acting, but also to help Dragon Con, because as you know, we all wanted to be in person and to do the network things that you're talking about. And it's always a great resource, specifically Animation Track. We do host panels like this for beginner voice acting with like longtime voice acting legends, and also industry panels about not just about voice acting, but drawing and doing background and things like that. So throughout this weekend, we're bringing more content just like that. But this panel is going to be, has been super informative. So thank you all very, very much. So as this is coming towards the end of our panel, very sad face. I want everybody to go around and then just, you know, tell us where we can contact you for more information. This is your time. You can keep it within kind of Animation Track, but you can plug your website, your social media accounts. Website and social media accounts. So we'll start with Samuel.
I'm really active on Instagram mostly right now because my website's being updated right now, so it's down. But you can follow me on Instagram. It's introvert92, INKD_introvert92. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I can recommend any books or any material I use along the way to anyone who wants to know.
If you want to hear more of my voice, I was on the Sonic's Deathbed parodies, and also on Suntria and Sprout on Antunes YouTube channel. You can also reach out to me on Instagram. My Instagram is ninti.wave. That's NINTI.WAV, no E. And also Ninti Wave on Twitter as well. So just reach out to me. I am always open to hear questions that you might have, or just to talk, because I love people.
So for me, you can find me at Shanice Speaks on, that's my website, my email address at gmail.com, and it's also my, my Twitter and Facebook. So it's SHANICESPEAKS, and for my YouTube, it's I'm True to Me. I am TRUETOMEN. If you have any questions or you need support, let me know. I'll be a supporter in your corner.
So I've heard that there is a really cool giveaway that Ninti and Shanice have put together. Can you just tell us where to find more information and what this amazing giveaway is going to be?
Sure. So you can follow me on Shanice Speaks, and I'm giving away a beginner set microphone just to help you on your voice acting journey.
That's
And
exciting.
also along with that, we are giving away the Sennheiser headphones so that you can actually hear yourself when you are voice acting. So either go to Shanice Speaks at Instagram, or you can go to ninti.wave to get more details on the giveaway.
That is super exciting, and I hope that everybody who's watching gets a chance to follow them so they can get more information about this giveaway, and good luck. So anyway, thank you guys again so very much. This has been Renee. I'm Renee Cooper, animation track director and the most humble moderator of this amazing panel. Please follow our track pages. Right now we are building up our Instagram and our Twitter, as well as Facebook, and it's all at DragonCon Tunes. All one word. I thought it was clever and consistent. So please check us out there. You can also get more information about DragonCon in general at dragoncon.org. So thank you all so much for joining us this year for the animation track panels. We will see you later. Stay well, and goodbye, everybody.
See you next year, guys.
Hey, you guys. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.